Red Bull have been the dominant force in this past season, winning by a hefty margin and not looking back after the summer break. However, some small drama at the end put a damper on a rather stellar campaign. With all eyes on next season to see if the team can do it for a third year in a row, there appears to be some concern amongst the Red Bull faithful, and in particular Adrian Newy, whose recent statement does not bode well for Red Bull. Stick around to find out what Adrian Newy and Helmut Marko had to say, and Christian Horner showing his funnier side by poking fun at Supermax and his frostier side when talking about the team principles. With both Ferrari and Mercedes looking to improve off the back of a second and third respectively, Ferrari will surely not make as many mistakes as they did this season, especially if they find the right team principle. The same can be said of Mercedes, who we all know will not lie down without a fight. In fact, Lewis Hamilton was pretty defiant. The Stevenage-born driver believes the team have felt even more powerful from overcoming their issues this season than they did when reigning supreme in the standings. There have been so many scenarios like that this year where I think that honestly, the journey has been the most important part. And this year, we are winners this year to me, Hamilton said prior to the Brazilian Grand Prix. Obviously not in how it is seen outside in terms of numbers, but I feel that everyone in the team this year is a winner. They've all dug so deep, they've given absolutely everything. Nobody has given up and everyone has overcome whatever emotions they have had of not being at the forefront. I'm really proud of everybody, so that for me is even more powerful than winning every single race. This, as we know, shows that Mercedes are up for the fight, and in particular Hamilton will want to put down a marker after finishing 6th in the Drivers' Championship. Let's just say there is no love lost between Max and Lewis, with a recent clip being deleted off of Twitter highlighting the pair's hate-hate relationship. If Ferrari can get their team principle right and cut out the errors, they too will be contenders, with it a well-known fact that the Italian team stopped developing their 2022 car to focus on the 2023 car. With Gunther Steiner having this to say in a recent interview about the Ferrari engine. On Thursday, I met Matteo Binotto and he told me the next season's engine will be the bomb, Steiner said. In Emilia-Romagna, there is a lot of support for Ferrari, and if the engine is competitive, it will be positive for us too. It is not just externally where Red Bull will have to compete, but internally as well, with the engineering wizard Adrian Newy being rather concerned for Red Bull. Newey was the mastermind behind the incredible design behind the RB18, which just got faster throughout the season. Let's not forget Mercedes got it horribly wrong, and only Ferrari could challenge the Austrians, but ultimately fell short due to strategic errors. Speaking at the Autosport Awards, where Red Bull won Racing Car of the Year and Verstappen won International Driver of the Year, Chief Technical Officer Adrian Newy admitted that he thinks Ferrari knew they'd lost the title and when they began to realize the fight was over. Once you got to Singapore, then we would have messed up fairly spectacularly to have lost it, he said. I'm sure Ferrari probably had the same feeling. Mercedes was still pushing to understand the car. Because the regulations are relatively stable over the winter, then what you continue to learn through the year is still applicable for the following season. With the side already facing an incredibly challenging season due to the team having been awarded a 10% reduction in permitted aerodynamic research, meaning they'll receive less wind tunnel time in 2023. As a result, their mid-season developments and their 2024 car will likely be impacted, with Newey being unaware currently of how much of an effect the penalty will have on their yearly performance. It doesn't help, of course, he said. Red Bull's record-breaking season will live long in the memories of their fans, having won 17 of the 22 races, and which equates to a 77% win ratio for the 2022 season, which is just ridiculous. Newey hailed the season as very satisfying, especially given that they didn't completely focus on the RB18 during 2021. It's been a very satisfying season, he added. Obviously had a huge regulation change to deal with, which, given that we were battling hard for last year's championship as well, meant that was always a juggling act through 2021. Early season, Ferrari and ourselves were very similar. They were quicker at some circuits, we were quicker to others, but we managed to develop the car to be pretty decent at all circuits. That gave us a very strong second half of the season. This may all just be smoke and mirrors from the Red Bull team in order to make sure that no one quite knows what they will be doing next season. Even Helmut Marko has weighed in with a pretty interesting statement, as he thinks that Mercedes will return to winning ways. Asked if Hamilton's woes would continue, Marko told Bild, "Unfortunately, I'm afraid not. Mercedes fought their way up to us over the year. Although they are not yet at eye level, they have more wind tunnel time for the development of the car. But I'm not too worried. We were on the right track for 2023 and have the best driver in the field with Max." Marko also weighed in with the current driver issue at Red Bull and in particular on Checo's chances. "Checo can certainly win 1 or 2 races, but I don't see that he can challenge Max over a whole season. In general, I don't see that anyone with the same prerequisites can do that at the moment." Verstappen will be aiming for a hat-trick of consecutive championships in 2023. Hamilton, his old rival, will re-emerge as the main contender according to Marko. "Ferrari is strong, but Mercedes will be stronger in the overall package," he said. "Especially with a driver like Lewis Hamilton, he is still a top driver. Although Ferrari also has a very good driver in Leclerc, he still makes mistakes. We want to be similarly dominant in 2023. Even if this is very difficult, there is always room for improvement. We have room for improvement in reliability. In the first 3 races, we retired 3 times due to a technical defect, and in Brazil, the setup was not right. We had an exceptional season, but not everything was perfect. We still need a perfect day to beat Mercedes and Ferrari." One thing is for sure is that Red Bull will be competitive, with a Ferrari engineer describing Red Bull as the Muhammad Ali of the racing world. As per Motorsports, the Ferrari engineer said, "I think that's probably Red Bull's strength this year, as they look to have been flexible. There were times when it was a bit of a Muhammad Ali approach. It looked like you've got them on the ropes, and they just squirm a bit and come out and bang. You were like, oh my god, where did they find that?" This light jest by the Ferrari engineer is certainly light-hearted and a great comparison, but one thing that is not light-hearted is the relationship between the team principals. With Christian Horner recently being asked if the team principals would ever do a dinner like the drivers did, and his answer was also pretty frosty. Unfortunately, the same amount of love isn't shared around the team principals as the driver, claimed the Red Bull boss. Well, that's one way to put it, with both Horner and Toto having no sympathy with Binotto being sacked. Horner then went on to poke fun at Max Verstappen, joking that the Dutchman has gone a little overboard with luxuries that come with traveling around the globe. Of course, Max, having won the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships with a couple of races to go, they're a little bit like jockeys, where they have to come in under a certain weight. We saw that weight starting to creep up a little through the steakhouses in Austin and the taquerias in Brazil, he joked. He'll be back on weight, I'm sure, by the time he gets back in the car in February next year. What do you think? Will Red Bull struggle, and will Max come back fat?